Hello, I'm Amari Jones, and today is Monday, February 23rd. This is Caffeine TV, your daily news brief, here to take you through 3 headline numbers in just 3 minutes, giving you a different take on everything from housing policy to the Real Housewives. The first number of today is 87, as in the 87th Academy Awards, which took place last night. The pinnacle award show in show business dragged on for 4 hours and struggled to, well, put on a show. It was hosted by Neil Patrick Harris, who also hosted the Tonys, and he gave hour after hour of endlessly corny jokes. Perhaps the highlight of his hosting is when he ran out on the stage in his underwear, reenacting a scene from the movie Birdman. And the only thing that I could see when I saw him from the front was that Mae West line, "Is that a gun? Are you just happy to see me?" Now, Birdman itself took home top honors with 4 Oscars. Best Actress went to Julianne Moore, and Best Actor went to Eddie Redmayne. A full list of winners is on our Facebook page. But perhaps the most interesting thing about last night is, as we spoke about here before, the race and gender issues, which were shut out during the nomination process, burst through during the ceremony itself. Perhaps the highlight of the night came from John Legend and Common when accepting the award for Best Song for their song Glory in the movie Selma. Spoke about the fact that the fight for racial justice in America goes on, cited the mass incarceration of black men as an example, and quoted from Nina Simone. They were followed closely by Patricia Arquette, who, in accepting her Best Supporting Actress award, cited the need for pay equity between men and women. But perhaps the lowlight of the night came from Sean Penn when, in announcing the Best Picture award, referencing the director of the movie Birdman, which won, Alejandro Inarritu, said, quote, "Who gave that son of a bitch his green card," close quote. And then Alejandro clapped back and said that he hoped that Latino immigrants would receive the same respect that all other immigrants to the United States have received. Well, we don't yet know the ratings from last night's Oscars, but if they are a disappointment, it wouldn't be a surprise. The next number of today is 40, as in 40 million. That's the number of people each year who visit the Mall of America. And yesterday, the Secretary of Homeland Security said that those mall goers, along with all mall goers across the country, should be on guard. That's because Al-Shabaab, a terrorist splinter group of Al-Qaeda in the Horn of Africa, has threatened the Mall of America along with other key shopping centers around the world. Of course, Al-Shabaab is the terrorist group which carried out the Westgate Mall attack in Kenya in 2013. Now, what's interesting is at the time when the United States receives this new terrorist threat, along with other standing ones from ISIS and Al-Qaeda, the Department of Homeland Security is just days away from shutting down, as we've spoken about here before, because Republicans are threatening to shut it down if President Obama doesn't take out funding for his immigration action that he announced in November. Now, the Republican Party is supposedly the party of national security. It's key to their brand, but the party of national security at the time when America needs it the most could leave it actually insecure. The last number of today is 1982. Now, that's the year that's coming back to haunt Bill O'Reilly and perhaps his own Brian Williams moment. Of course, Bill O'Reilly hosts the O'Reilly Factor, which is often the highest rated show on Fox, and a new article in Mother Jones takes on his, quote, exaggerations, close quote, from his various times in wars and war zones. He says that back in 1982 that he was in Argentina covering the war, an active war zone, during the Falklands War between that country and the United Kingdom. But the only problem is that Buenos Aires, where he was over 1,000 miles away from the active front. And he says that in 1982, while covering the El Salvadorian Civil War, that a town that he was focused on was razed, but footage from the time shows the town still standing. But my question is whether or not any of this is a surprise. Of course, Fox is being sued, as we've spoken about here before, by the city of Paris for saying that there were no-go zones for Christians in that city. When a similar thing was said on Fox about a town in the United Kingdom, the British Prime Minister called Fox, quote, idiots, close quote. And of course, they've taken on the movie Frozen by saying that it brings down men. So is it any question that they live in a land of make-believe?